Welcome back to the Athlete and Artist Show. I am the artist Kyle Fortch alongside professional hockey player Zach Boychuk. And Chucky, I think this is only our second episode without a guest.
Yeah, no, we haven't done many without a guest, but got a lot to talk about this week with hockey playoffs here and crypto, and things are looking good for our summer plans too.
Yeah, playoffs started yesterday. Crypto's on the way up. It's a nice time right now, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's sun's starting to shine a little bit. I mean, I think we're supposed to get snow here in Calgary, but
Are we
um,
again?
I golfed for the first time yesterday. Absolutely froze out there. It was like 11 degrees or 10 degrees. I had like a winter hat on. It's funny, we were out in the south and there was like four of the Flames guys were out there too, golfing just a few holes over, so it was pretty funny.
Where'd you go?
Blue Devil.
Oh,
So
okay.
windy down there, but it was a fun track for the day to get out for my first round.
That's outside of the city, isn't it? Or where is it?
No, it's like you're still inside the city. I think it's like Chaparral or like Auburn Bay, like just before you get out.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't realize it was that close still.
Yes, sir. And what have you been up to?
Working lots. Got this TV show coming out now. We have a release date, which is nice. I don't think I'm allowed to say it yet because this podcast comes out tomorrow. But yeah, we finally have the release date for the TV show. We have a network. Uh, I'm excited. It's been started shooting it in August and finished in December, and it's been a long, hectic kind of few months in post production. But we're excited to actually have this show on TV now.
Yeah, so for the people that don't know, you forth from Nashville, helping out with production and shooting this whole music show, and there's finally a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we shot it in Nashville, started in August, like I said, shot for about 4 months. So I was living out there in the Embassy
The
Suites,
Embassy,
Nashville
Embassy
downtown.
Suites, our
shout out
boy hooking
shout
us
out
up.
Tony. Shout out Tony.
No free
Um
ads, but
yeah, no free
that guy's
ads.
that guy's the bomb.
Yeah, definitely. He's Tony's a gem. If anyone listens ever in Nashville, stay at the Embassy Suites downtown. Brand new hotel, still less than a year old. Um,
It's the nicest Embassy Suites I've ever been in. It's
it's
insane.
it's
Crazy
the
views,
yeah,
rooftop.
it's the tallest embassy suites in the world, I think, and right now it still has the tallest rooftop bar in Nashville.
Just looking right over Broadway, right over Bridgestone. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
prime location.
prime location, especially like hockey season. Arena's right there. There's never snow in Nashville, so it's like
Yeah.
Broadway's right there, arena's right there. It's perfect if you're a hockey fan and going there in the winter time for sure.
Oh, the weather's got to be so good there right now. My buddy's going up to see Nick, and I'm like starting to get the FOMO already because it's supposed to snow here, and it's not quite golf weather, and it's probably at least 30 degrees there by now.
Yeah, it's looking nice out there, but like literally anything less than 20 degrees Celsius, they're freaking out. Like a little bit of rain, little sprinkle of
Yeah,
snow that they shut down. But the I don't
people
know
are panicking.
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd rather have the tornadoes or the snow, but probably the tornadoes to be honest with you.
Yeah, the warm weather's nice, but at least the sun's coming out here.
Definitely. It'll be nice to get back on the links here a little bit. Gets a little
Yeah,
bit warmer.
for sure. I think I'm getting a membership this year, so I'm gonna be golfing like
Are
four to
you?
five times a week. Oh
Get
yeah, gonna do it.
getting a fancy one? Are you gonna go to Langdon get one at the track? That's like our home base. It seems.
No, all my hockey buddies that I train with usually get one down in the south. So now I'm living down in the south of Calgary, so it's kind of be a good location for me and see those boys every day after the gym. And
Are those a lot of guys you played with down in Germany? You have any buddies that are out here? Or?
no, most of the guys are still playing in North America. There's one guy that plays for the Wranglers here, Dryden Hunt. I golfed with him yesterday, and then there's a couple other guys from Europe that are back from the KHL or back from the Swiss League, German League. Not Nobody from my team specifically, but no, right now is like an exciting time. Like guys are starting to get back, and the NHL playoffs are starting up, and got a lot to talk about at the gym now. That's for sure.
Definitely. We didn't really catch up when you got back in terms of, at least not on the pod, in terms of how your season third season down in Germany went. Is this your third one in Berlin or fourth?
That was my third in Berlin. Yeah.
How did that go? You
So
want to update the people? You have to go on two back-to-back championships, and then what happened this year?
yeah, it was one of those where it's kind of like you look at the Calgary Flames right now. They were first place pretty much the whole year last year, and then this year didn't make the playoffs. So we won the last 2 years in Berlin, did the parade, did the whole thing, and then this year we were one win away from making playoffs. I think we had to win our last game in regulation, and we ended up losing in overtime or a shootout. And it was a tough way to go from double champion to not even getting a shot at the three beat.
That's tough, man. I mean, what happened? Just a lot of the teammates left or got dealt or had opportunities elsewhere.
We had a couple good guys leave, like Franz Nielsen, he retired, and then a couple guys went to Sweden or had opportunities somewhere else. But no, like we had a similar roster, and we just kind of took it for granted. Just we thought it was going to be easy, and we it's pretty clear the professional leagues are professional for a reason, and things are tight, and every point matters. And we lost a lot of one goal games, a lot of overtime games, kind of like the Flames did. And it's easy to start pointing fingers around at everybody, but yeah, it was us in the locker room that just thought we were going to cakewalk again into the playoffs.
You guys have that stud from out there too. That's playing in Chicago. Is it Reichel or Raquel? How do you pronounce his last name?
Reichel, yeah, he played with
Reichel.
us 2 years ago, so he wasn't on the team last year. He made the pro jump, and then this year he played almost half the season in Chicago and did really
Nice.
well. I went to see him play when he came to the Flames heartbreaker, and pretty much put the Flames out of playoffs. But it was good to see Lukey. He had 2 assists and was absolutely flying out there. And some of these young German players are looking pretty good for the future.
That's sick. That's cool that you got to play with him. See him like come up from that young age. Did you play with him in his draft year too, or was he in Berlin the year after he got drafted?
No, he was already drafted. So I think his first year in Berlin, he was like wearing a cage, like basically he was under 18, not old enough, and I think that was his draft year. And then the following year, I came in and was playing with him, and he was like our top line center, dangling everybody, just lighting it up. And for an 18-year-old kid in that league, it's pretty impressive. So I knew right away he wouldn't be here for much longer, and it's clear he's going to be a top six forward in the NHL here really soon.
He might get to play with Bedard here soon.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I told him when I saw him after the game, I was like, you guys got to keep losing. You shouldn't have beat the Flames, and you gotta get Bedard because I think he'd be a good guy to pass to and probably get passes from, and those guys would be exciting to watch together.
Yeah, you had a couple buddies in that game too. You had Reichel, and then Wags got the game winner too.
Yeah, Wagner was in there playing G Dub. He said a lot of Flames fans were mad at him for knocking him out of the playoffs, but no, good for him to see him back in the NHL, and hopefully he gets a good shot somewhere next year, whether it's in back in Chicago or if he's a free agent or whatever it is. But that guy's got some wheels. He's probably probably as fast as McDavid, um, and basically has all the tools. I'd like to see him put it all together again.
I remember you saying that. That was, I think, wasn't it like our first night going out? Wags came by, and you were like, "Hey, he's quicker than McDavid." I was like, I don't know.
I'd put
I
him in a race, and I think I'd take Wags, and he jumps like
really
45 inches, like something crazy, just like a freak athlete, insane.
well, my old ex roommate that trained at Crash for a bit said he has like the best the most power she's ever seen in someone's legs. Like,
Yeah, it's impressive. He's just a natural gifted athlete, and you can see it in the gym. He's fast, strong. He's got it all. So, and then on the ice when we're skating, he's getting breakaways like every single shift he's out there. So, and he's starting to bury him now too. So it's good to see.
that's awesome. That's good. It's nice to see like guys that you played with and worked with came up with do well and succeed at the next level and go back, get to see them play, get to see them score some game winners in their
Yeah,
in
no,
their
it's
hometown, nonetheless. Even though it's for not for their hometown team, but I mean, still cool to score in that arena, get a game winner.
yeah, no, it's been fun like being back in Calgary. Like now we got all the hockey that's going on. You could get catch a Hitmen game, you can catch a Wranglers game, Flames game. So there's no shortage of hockey, and even you go outside the city, you can catch Brooks playing Okotoks. Like there's just
Yeah,
go up to Red Deer an hour and a half, watch the Rebels game. Like there's just so much good stuff you can watch this time of year when playoffs when everything's like right on the line. And I've been watching a lot of games and enjoying it.
did you watch any of the games last night? Let's get right into it. First night of playoffs. Who'd you have in that going into
Oh
that
my
first
God,
night?
my brackets already feels like it's busted, but yeah, I picked Carolina to win the series. They got the huge dub, but
Yep.
still not a great showing for them. And then some of the other games, I watched most of the Edmonton game. I was a little choked. They blew it in the end, and I had to stay up for another period and overtime and see them lose. But you were obviously happy to see them lose, right?
Yeah, I was happy to see the Kings win just because I'm petty and I don't mind the Kings. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't want to see them win because after what they did at Quickie, but um, I mean, it'd just be nice to rub it into Edmonton's face, see them lose to the Kings again, or at least go to
Yeah,
Game
well,
7. I mean, they struggling against them, but I mean that's kind of what the Kings do. The two cups that they won didn't weren't they eighth place both times in in 2011 2014.
yeah.
At least one of them they were like the last spot come in and then just walk through everybody. So I don't know how they do it, but they kick it up a gear in the playoffs, and that's something that Edmonton's gonna have to get back on track with. It was a good game though,
Yeah, no, like LA
from what I
just
saw.
has, guys that play the right way. You have Kopitar, he plays a two-way game. Dano, Doughty's been a horse his whole career, and they're a scary team. You meet them in the playoffs, and they were seemed like they were trapping it up quite a bit last night. Always kind of sitting back and not really letting McDavid get into those tight areas. Yeah, he had a couple chances, but
He didn't have a point though.
they didn't get a point, which is
No.
huge. Draisaitl had a couple, so
Yeah.
it's tough to shut all their guys down. But LA, I like their team. I that was one series that I was kind of not too sure about, just because they had a good series last year that went 7 games,
Yeah.
and to go against each other again. Obviously, there's some rivalry there, and it's gonna hopefully it's gonna be a good series for both teams.
Definitely. It'll be interesting to see if Edmonton does get past the first round because I think they play Winnipeg after that or
Yeah, it'd be probably between Vegas and
when yeah
Winnipeg, maybe.
Vegas or
I
Winnipeg.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really not good with the new brackets that they have out this year and trying to keep track of it all. All I know is I don't want to see Toronto make it past the first round. I'd love to see them lose again just to pile onto that fan base.
That game is that game on right now?
5 o'clock, yeah, be on live right now.
Let's see. Let's see what this score is looking like. Two nothing Bolts. Ooh,
Ooh, tough
almost end of the
start.
first. Yeah, less than a minute left in the first.
Yeah, breaking news. That's good to see. I like that.
Yeah, Belmare and Sorelli got the
Yeah,
goals.
like Tampa's
Belmare,
been struggling down the stretch, and you kind of was a little bit worried about Vasilevsky, but come playoff time, you know those guys are going to come to play.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Toronto just they always figure out a way to blow it in the first round. Like Boston, Tampa, doesn't matter who. They're always they're always this close, and then they let it slip.
Some sort of curse. I mean, I think they just need one of these series where everything goes right, and obviously you need your big guns. You need Matthews really doing well. Marner has never really been historically good in the playoffs, so
Yeah.
I think you can expect a big series from him and kind of a bounce back. Like during the regular season, these guys are unbelievable. So um, that's going to be another one that you'll probably see maybe go 7 games.
Yeah, I see that one going to 7 for sure. And then Boston, Florida. Boston's been tearing up the league the entire season, setting wins and points records. Do you think there's any chance anyone's going to beat them before the Cup final?
I don't know. In my bracket, I had them going pretty far. I think I have them against the Rangers in the semis, but
Mm,
I want the Rangers to make it to the final
do you?
and to win it all. So I'd love to see. They got a good squad. They got a good goalie. It's just can they you know play good enough defense and play the right way in the playoffs and but yeah, that's Boston just had a crazy dominant run this year. It's going to be hard for any team to beat them.
I don't know how they keep doing it. Like these guys are. It seems like these guys are getting younger, not older.
Oh, that's crazy. So there's so many guys in the NHL right now that are probably, 33 to 38, kind of getting up in the age, and they're having career years. Like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the training starting to actually kick in from, when Sidney Crosby kind of started this all, and a lot of these guys like really started hitting the gym. And now, like you see Pavelski, he's playing into his 40s, a lot of these guys,
Yeah.
and they're all having career years. Guys are putting up 100 points. Like it's crazy times right now.
Maybe a little testosterone replacement therapy mixed in there too, or what?
There could be something. Maybe some of the Russian guys are getting on the extra gas, but yeah, it's a lot of new techniques and a lot of different stuff that guys are trying. They got
Yeah.
the art machines. They're like connected to electrodes, and guys are doing blood flow restriction stuff. Like there's just so many different things that you can do in the gym now.
Crazy. What's who you got in the West? You got your boy Ebbs and Seattle going past Colorado here in the
I
first
got
round, or
I got Chicago making the finals again. I just
you mean Colorado?
I think they got too many game breakers. Like they're just. I would like to see Ebs have a good playoffs and have them somehow miracle find a way, but the West is just so tight. Like any team realistically could come out of the West. Like I don't think Seattle is one of them, but you never know. They're kind of on a miracle run.
Yeah, they had a good year, like way better than last year, obviously in their inaugural season. Uh, they drafted young, and that definitely showed the first year. But they made some good moves in that offseason, and their team just seems like they've kind of come together. Um,
Yeah.
Colorado. I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth on them just because of their injuries, and they lost a lot of guys from last year. Like they lost their Tandy, they lost Kadri, obviously. Landy's injured, not playing at all in the playoffs. So it's really like McKinnon, McCarr are kind of their two top guys left. It seems like. So it'll be
Yeah,
interesting
and
to see how
you
they
don't
play.
really know the health of McCarr too. Like he's been in and out quite a bit
Yeah,
this year, and they got some new goalies in there. But I feel like Sakic did a good job getting some secondary guys that can fill in here and there. And the Landeskog one, that one hurts. Like you really
yeah.
could use him as one of your top two centers, but
Especially in
they're
playoffs.
gonna. What's that?
Especially in the playoffs, like a guy like that, like
Yeah.
Landy's not afraid to throw the body. He's not afraid to stand up for his teammates, getting a scrap. He's a true captain through and through, and that's a huge loss for at least on the ice. I'm sure he's still in the room and still traveling with the boys, but I mean it's tough to not have him on the bench. I'm sure like you would be able to speak to that more than me from playing at that level, but not having a captain like that especially in the first round of playoffs? Like how is that going to affect the team, do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure he's around the locker room a little bit. I don't know how vocal he is as a captain. I'm sure he's obviously a huge part of the team, but I feel like other guys definitely are going to step up, and McKinnon's going to be good. You know that. Rantanen had a monster year this year, so those guys are just going to have to be even better. And um, I think the West is really it's really anybody's chance. I don't love like Vegas's team. I think they're going to run into Winnipeg, who has a good goalie. I think that series could go 7 games. I think I took Winnipeg in my bracket, but
Did you?
um, I do like Edmonton. Like Edmonton, they need to find a way too. So for me, it'd be Colorado or Edmonton, kind of going all the way.
All right, guys, I got to talk to you about NDAX. NDAX is a Canadian crypto trading platform where you can buy, sell, and stake crypto instantly at ndax.io. It's safe, no nonsense, just crypto, and you can get $15 on your first $100 deposit when you use the promo code AthleteArtist when you sign up at ndax.io. If you're into staking, I don't think it's ever been easier. All you got to do is choose an eligible coin like Ethereum, my personal favorite. Then choose the amount that you want to stake, the length that you want to stake it for, and then sit back and watch your rewards. You can claim your earnings either daily or weekly. So again, get $15 in your first $100 deposit using the promo code AthleteArtist at ndax.io. Interesting. I think I would take. I think I took Vegas over Winnipeg.
Yeah.
It's cool to see. Well, one, I always love seeing Flower in the playoffs. I don't know how much he's gonna get to play, but seeing Flower in the playoffs and get another chance to win is cool. But a bit big for Vegas is it's Eichel's first playoffs ever.
Oh
So
wow.
it'll
Yeah, I
be
didn't even realize that.
coming out of Boston or out of Buffalo, not making it ever. So
Yeah, he's probably been in the league for what, 10 years now, and
something like
first
that.
playoff game. And
Yeah.
yeah, he might really explode. This might be the change that, or the bump that he needs. And yeah, that makes me worried now. Maybe I shouldn't have picked Winnipeg.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Eichel does in his first series. Um, I think he sent out a tweet or a poster or maybe it was an interview or something saying how fired up he was, and he's like, "This is what we play it for. There's nothing better than playoff hockey." I was like, "You've never experienced playoff hockey, but I get what you're trying to say."
Yeah, maybe he's talking about his playoffs in college or something, or
Yeah.
his USNDP program from years ago. Maybe he's still remembering some of that stuff, but no, it's definitely what guys play for. I mean, it's nice to make the millions and millions of dollars, but to win a championship with a team, it's a completely different feeling, and you remember that for the rest of your life.
it'll be uh it'll be cool to see this year. It's been a weird year for hockey. Like the East just completely dominated every
Yeah.
way. Like obviously Boston was at the top, like we talked about, but for a while there, the first place teams in the West were barely sniffing the third place teams in the East. Like, so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what happens when we actually do get to the final and who makes it, and if the West can still hang in there.
Yeah, exactly. I think the teams are definitely a little better in the East overall. Like I think the top end teams, you got Tampa that's going to be good again. Boston, you kind of never really know what you're going to get with the Rangers and the Devils, and
Yeah.
it's honestly the craziest thing to not have Crosby and Ovechkin in the playoffs. I think it's been since
Yeah.
like 2006 or something, like 17 years where not one of those two players slash teams were in the playoffs. So definitely feel like you miss those guys now.
Yeah, that's crazy. I saw a post about the Pens, but I didn't even think about Ovi not being in there too. That's
Yeah.
super weird.
Yeah, it's that's how good the East was. Like for Pittsburgh and Washington not being able to make it, and kind of Florida came in like last minute, and the Islanders were pretty strong down the stretch, and even like Buffalo was in it for a bit, Ottawa, like
Yeah.
anybody kind of had a chance to slide in at the end there, but and there the race wasn't like that really in the West. Like you just kind of had Calgary,
Hmm.
Nashville a little bit trying to get into that last spot, but
Yeah.
like Winnipeg made it interesting, and but still that you could just tell it was kind of already set quite a while ago.
You know what was insane about the Flames? They they had 17 overtime losses.
Yeah, that's a tough stat. I
17.
mean, that goes to show that their game breakers were just not game breakers this year, whether that was the new signings or not getting a save at the right time. It's just you go from first place in the league last year. How good Daryl was. I think he won the Jack Adams, right?
I
And
think so,
then
yeah.
to this year, thinking like you replaced Goudreau and you replaced Kachuk, and now Tree Living's out of a job. He's
Yes.
either jumped ship or they mutually terminated, but definitely crazy, like how much it can change from year to year.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to bring that up for the pod, but I'm so happy to see Tree Living not in Calgary
Yeah,
anymore coming to next year. I mean, well, I I know you can't really predict how Huberdeau or Weegs were going to play this year, but I mean, Kachuk had more points than both of them put together. After what
yeah,
Hubie
that's
had
it's a tough look, but
120 points last year, like
yeah, it's definitely a kind of like a mix of just snowball effect. Everything that went bad kind of did go bad,
yeah,
and at the time, I remember thinking in the summer when they made the trades, I was like, wow, like they're going to be a contender again this year. Like they found a way to really offset it, and then they just couldn't get the wheels turning throughout the year. And tough to see like a good guy like Tree Living get out of here, but that brings in probably a fresh face. Maybe Conroy's gonna get bumped up, and I'm sure Daryl will have a say a little bit in the new GM coming in. But um, yeah, it's definitely the talk of the town since I've been home the last few weeks.
yeah. I've been saying Conroy should be GM for a couple of years now, so hopefully he gets a spot. I mean, he's a legendary Flame, um,
Yeah,
so it would be
and
cool to see him.
whoever's running the Wranglers must be doing a good job because they have a first place team. They got some good prospects down there. Unbelievable
Yeah,
goalie.
they were solid. Half
So
those guys should have been in on the Flames. I feel like.
yeah, I'm sure they don't need to go out of house to look for a GM, but maybe they'll bring someone in to kind of coach these guys and help Daryl find some players and kind of retool or regroup, and I'm sure they'll be good next year.
Who's your pick to win the cup? Do you have an overall pick?
I took the Rangers in my bracket, but I'm not 100% confident on that. Like I still think Chicago or Boston are going to be tough to get through. But
You mean Colorado, right? Not Chicago.
yeah, Colorado or Boston. Yeah, exactly. Definitely not Chicago.
Yeah, maybe
Chicago
maybe in
for
a couple
Bedard.
years if they get Bedard. Yeah,
Yeah, they need a little bit more than a retool or a regroup. They obviously blew it all up. Jonathan Taves, legend.
yeah,
He's played his
gone.
final game, and Patty Kane moved on. I don't know if they'll bring him back next year, but kind of like a changing of the guard
Yeah,
throughout the NHL this year.
yeah. It's weird to not see Taves and Kane in Chicago, but
Just doesn't seem right.
no,
Those guys are. It's weird for Kane to be wearing a different jersey. I don't know if
so
Taves will
weird.
go anywhere. It seems like he still wants to play, but I'm sure his health is pretty important right now. But yeah,
I
you're
just
right. Those guys are two icons.
like it makes me feel like we're getting way too old. Like these guys are starting to leave the league now. I'm like, oh,
They're not getting
what's
any
going
younger,
on?
that's for sure.
But those are good picks. I think I don't want to pick the same guys. I feel like I don't want to say Boston just because I feel like it's an easy pick out of the East. But I mean, how can you not pick them coming out of the East?
Yeah,
So
they're
I think
wagon.
I got to pick Boston out of the East, and then I think I'll pick Vegas coming out of the West, just to
Wow.
see, see them get back to the finals hopefully, and or maybe, and if they do, I think they might put up a good fight against
Yeah, I
Boston.
could see
But
it. It seems like they're not 100% sure on their goaltending going into it. Like, are they starting Bressois? They're starting, I guess they got Quick backing up right now. And then was it Thompson? He's like kind of skating, kind of not. Might come back for the backup spot, but that's the only thing I'm worried about with them is if you don't have that solid set guy who you're gonna go with. But they're definitely a solid team. Like you said, Eichel first playoffs, so Stone's back. Like that team has a shot. I still think, them getting through Edmonton or getting through Colorado, I think it would be tough, but
yeah,
that's why you play the playoffs. That's why you just got to get in, and those 8 seeds, 7 seeds, anybody has a chance. That's the beauty of the NHL playoffs. It's not like the basketball NBA where there has never been an upset.
yeah,
Basically, an 8 seed's never beat a first seed. Like it's just been kind of a joke league. Like over the years, it's always the same teams that win.
yeah. Anything can happen in hockey. That's the beauty of it. Like it's I mean, we mentioned earlier the Kings coming back, like the sneaking into the playoffs 2 times and ended up winning the cup, right? So it's, or
Yeah.
even like in the bubble. I know it was the bubble year, but Montreal had no business being in the Stanley Cup final. Like,
Nobody saw that coming.
um,
Yeah, you ride a hot goalie or you get some big goals at key times. You're going to get a lot of playoff overtime games and longer series. So it's
yeah,
all 1 goal games usually. The timing's tight. The checking's close. There's not as many goals, so it's going to be those game breakers or those guys that are playing the right way that go on to win.
definitely. I think earlier I said Flower was on Vegas, or I might have implied it, but obviously he's in Minnesota now. But it's still cool to see him back in the playoffs, and he didn't play last night, but they still got the win. So maybe he'll get a ring regardless, or I don't know if he'll
I
get a
I
ring,
I
but
I heard that game was unbelievable. I didn't catch any of it, but that'll be a good series to start off. I think I took Dallas over Minnesota, but
yeah, I
it
got
would
Minnesota.
be good to see Flower going a long run and get in some games and keep the career going
Yeah,
because he's a good guy.
yeah, I love Flower. He's a class act. He's got to be one of, if not the most beloved players in the league right now for sure. Like I don't think
Oh
you
yeah,
can say that you hate Flower.
I would have loved to see him actually get in there with Bennington and see what that would have been like. It seems like a lot of people don't love Bennington's antics. There's some people that do, some people that don't, but that would have been exciting to see.
Yeah, I think Flower would have slapped around a little bit. Binner needs
Yeah, I
to
don't
get
think Flowers that big, but
no, but
um,
he's tough. He's I mean, Binner just acts tough. I don't think he's actually that tough. So he needs someone to smack him around, give him a pop in the face, and get him in
it's
line.
probably gonna
But
come at some point.
it's gonna be either another Tendy, or it's gonna be somebody like Revo, or fucking send Amesbury in there, pump Binner.
There you go. Call up
Like,
Amesbury. Get him out there. Love to see that.
um, so you got Rangers or Avs as your cup winner. I got Vegas or Boston. So we'll see who, if either of us get there with our picks, or if we both get Seward, just like the March
Yeah,
Madness Seward me.
it
But
might be none of us. Yeah,
yeah, it might be none
the
of
March
us.
Madness was crazy. Like the
Insane.
teams that were in the finals, some of them I hadn't even heard of. Like Miami was good this year. How far did your UCLA get?
Uh, I think we Elite Eight, Sweet 16, Sweet 16.
So another solid showing for them.
Yeah, it was just another bullshit loss. Fucking half court shot, like 5 seconds left. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh
Like,
man,
every
that's
time.
tough.
Yeah, so Chucky, you got Rangers and Colorado going to the final. I've got Boston and Vegas. What's the money looking like? What are the stats? What are the puck line, money line? What do you think? Are we throwing money on this or what?
Oh man, it's so hard to bet on the playoffs, like especially the NHL playoffs. Like I like betting on some of the Europe leagues, like the Swedish league and even the Russian league. Like those are really fun. You kind of, for the most part, can kind of guess like which teams are going to win. The odds aren't great, but I follow that Matt Murley on he's on like Spin Chicklets now, and his picks are honestly unbelievable. I would pay attention to see what he's doing. I'm sure he has. I think he was saying that he's got like Rangers, or he combos the picks. So like he'll parlay it, or he'll just take. Like let's say he thinks the Rangers are going to win the cup. You take Shesterkin to win like MVP of the playoffs, and you get like extra odds, kind of a better payout. So I'm gonna kind of dive in, I think, after the first couple of games of the series and see which teams I like. But early on, like I definitely think Shesterkin or Panarin would be good guys to pick up. Or even like on Boston, you got to think Pasta could potentially win the MVP. Um, and then Colorado would be McKinnon, but who won it last year? I guess Makar.
Yeah, yeah, McCarr.
But yeah, I've been super into the gambling stuff all season. Right now, um, waiting for the first couple of games just to. I think if you see like a higher seed do well, or maybe struggle the first game, hammer them the next game. But have you been getting into the gambling at all, or maybe some crypto? What have you been up to the last few months?
Yeah, I was doing some of the missing curfew weekly. I think they were doing like weekly DraftKings. So you had no free ads or anything. But uh, I wasn't very good at picking my team. So I think I won $10 the first one, and then I got smacked like the next couple weeks. So I'm trying to learn it though, just so I can invest or not invest, but gamble smart and not just throw money at random things. But I'm a big ETH guy, so if there was some crypto sports betting websites or something like a stake, maybe I don't know, but something like that, I'd definitely throw some ETH down on the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I feel like throwing some money on the game, like even if it's a couple dollars here and there, it just makes it so much more interesting and so much more fun. But it is nice to win, and that's kind of why I follow Merles. But I also try and come in here and there with my own picks. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and obviously with ETH and crypto doing so well right now, the stock market's starting to come back, and summertime, obviously, guys are just getting their tax returns, trying to figure out where they're going to put their money. So yeah, I'm keeping my eye on those charts. I'm definitely holding my Bitcoin long. I'm holding my ETH long, and seeing what that's like in a year or two. But yeah, right now it's crazy how we got into crypto those couple of years ago. Like it really came out of nowhere. I'd always kind of you hear all the negative things about it, but then when you get into it, doesn't it actually like really make sense to you?
Man, yeah, it's insane. Like it's almost been 2 years now. Like
Yeah.
that time flew. Like I remember the just starting to when we were just starting to kind of fiddle around with it. Like Safe Moon was that first one. Like put like
First one with
what
Safe Moon.
yeah,
Thanks, Dave Portnoy. And
literally
and he somehow got out of the lawsuit, which I mean does kind of make sense. He made it pretty clear that it was a risky asset, but that's
yeah.
what got us into crypto, basically.
Literally his what he put in like 40 grand or something in Safe Moon, and I put in
Yeah.
like $40. Yeah. I was like, let me just test this, see where it went. It went nowhere.
Yeah,
Lost all that, but
thankfully we didn't put more, but at least it got us into the game and got us into some NFTs and a little bit of crypto, ETH, BNB, but yeah, I still my cousin does all my NFTs for me, and he's been killing it. He's like all dialed. He gets these like free airdrops like every couple months, and he's like my other cousins like mining it. They're all like right into it. So it's always nice to keep an eye on that side, but it's fun.
I've been wanting to get into like staking a little bit because I know, well, I when we first started it, and for that, especially that first summer, we were day trading a lot, and like I got decent at like day trading, but we'd be like at a restaurant sitting there just staring at the charts, or like I remember when I was opening a bar at the time, and you came by with your girlfriend, you're sitting there having dinner, and you had like the iPad and the phone set up, and like I'm supposed to be focusing on running a restaurant, and I'm like checking charts like left and right. But yeah, I think so. Like staking would be cool to get into because at least then you're not having to check it every like 5 minutes. You're like, oh shit, I'm down 20%. I'm up 60%. Like, and like
That's
we're
the worst part about it. I mean, just checking those percentages every day.
yeah.
Oh, like I tried to explain it a little bit to my buddy, and just like the bases of Bitcoin, and like people are trying to compare it to like gold and like a digital. And the way that I explain it is just still so bad, and he had no idea like what the heck I was talking about. But if you think about it like as a long-term asset and you don't look at it for a few years and you stake it and you get interest every year and rewards, like it's fun just to throw a little bit at it and see what it's like. Imagine if we were doing that, 5, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
how well we would be doing. But yeah, now's the time to throw a little bit every week and have fun with it.
Yeah, and like I think what Bitcoin just hit 30 grand USD for the first time in what months? Like since June. And then
Yeah,
ETH hit 2100 for I think today or yesterday for the first time since I can't even remember the last time ETH was over 2 grand. It seems like it was like the first time I was in Nashville almost when I
yeah. My baby Doge is back to like almost its all-time high again. So I'm like
I
hoping that
saw
it just keeps jumping right over because I still have quite a bit in that. But
I saw Baby
um,
Doge was up when I was looking at the charts before we came on. I was like, "There's no way it's still going back up. Like
the chart's
it's
hilarious.
holding
It's like,
on, man."
woo! Elon Musk tweets about it, goes way up, and then all of a sudden way down, and then up again. Stock market crashes, war happens, way down, and now it's like right back up near the all-time high. But
It's
we need everything else going back up there. We need Ethan, Bitcoin going back to 69,000 and those highs. But
it's
it's
crazy
it's
that
looking good. The market's calling for it. I think. No, not financial advice.
yeah, NFA, do your own research. It's crazy that because Baby Doge was the reason that I quit my day job at the time
That's right.
because I missed out on $250,000.
Yeah, if you
I
would
was
have
like
thrown a little bit in there, you would have been looking pretty nice.
I probably would have yeah, this I was like as soon I was like, fuck the bar industry. Like I'm going all into crypto and haven't looked back. Been almost homeless a
Yeah.
few times since then, but like I mean, it's a little it gets a little
You,
shaky here and there, but
you get to spend some time in Nashville and then some time here. It's not so bad.
yeah. Except that Nashville, no one told me how easy it was going to be to spend it the first time when I was there.
They don't give you that on the warning label when you move there.
No kidding, hey? Jeez, jeez.
But
Um,
yeah, no, that was a good epi. I really enjoyed the hockey talk, a little one-on-one, and some crypto near the end. That was good.
yeah, it'll be nice. We'll have to get some crypto guests on too. So I mean, we're lucky enough to be partnered with Endax right now, which is a Canadian crypto company. For those viewers or listeners that don't know, but I mean, you can stake, you can buy, sell everything on there, which is great. And they're lucky, or we're lucky enough to be partnered with them. So hopefully, we'll be
Yeah, I
doing
love how
some.
you can just e-transfer. It's as easy as that. They make it um, a lot of exchanges or crypto trading flat platforms. there's all these little hoops that you gotta dive through, and some banks won't accept it. And whereas with this, you just go through retransfer or find other ways to do it, and easy staking. And I've enjoyed being on the platform so far.
Yeah, I mean, like circling back to the first time I invested, like, do you remember when I was trying to buy SafeMoon with another platform, and I was like I was trying to use your credit card, I was trying to use because mine didn't work, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, why can't I not I'm just trying to buy $40 worth of a coin here. It's not like I'm trying to spend millions. Like, why wouldn't it just let me
Yeah.
buy something?
I
And
don't even
like,
remember what card I used, but it was like I don't think any Canadian card worked. Like tried my US one, I don't think that worked. Like it was might have been my card from Germany that finally kicked in, and I think I got $1,000 worth of Safe Moon, and now that's worth like $22. But um, it's a good thing they didn't let me take out more because that would have been rough.
I mean, it would have been nice if we were that guy that bought in on the launch and then forgot about it, and then
Oh
remember
yeah,
that
the
when
pre-sale.
yeah, we bought in the pre-sale or whatever, and then when SafeMoon switched over to version 2 or whatever, that blockchain expert like tracked him down, and he's like, "Hey, you have $60 million sitting in your account,"
Legitimately.
and like I
Six,
remember it was something like that, wasn't it? 60 million.
yeah, it was 20 or 60, like something insane. And he was like working his night shift or something.
Yeah, I remember like watching him take out like 50 grand or whatever, and then 100 grand, and then it was like a million, and then he got like 10 mil or something, and then he had to stop because he had to work graveyard shift at his like night job. Like, imagine going into work that night.
Yeah. See,
I,
those are some of the stories you hear. You hear the good ones, and then you hear the bad ones, the people
yeah,
that lost all their money.
yeah.
But it's a crazy world, the crypto and the gambling stuff, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. I mean, we've been lucky enough to do decently well, I think, and we know some people that have done decently well, but obviously there's people that we know or have heard of that have lost a little bit. But I mean, for anyone who is interested in that or even stocks, like, don't invest more than you can actually afford to, because you look at it like you're gonna lose it essentially. And
Yeah. And do the
but
research. Like
yeah,
you talk to Gary Vee, like he says you literally need, you know, a bunch of hours and hours of research before you're putting your money into anything. So
hmm
talk to us, talk to some of these other experts that you can find online, especially on Twitter and a few of these YouTube sites and stuff like that, and um, just invest in a little bit here and there. It's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, start small and then like work your way up once you learn more about it. That's what we
That's
did. We
right.
started small, watch the charts, learn how the charts move. And I mean, especially now, like you're buying a big dip. When we were buying tops of things and trying to figure out where things were gonna go. But I mean, right now it's definitely a dip, so it's a good time to buy small and see how that moves. So yeah, Chucky, good episode. We'll be back with another guest next week, and yeah, thanks for tuning in, and see you guys next week.
Peace.